everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Phylicia, and as I'm sure you can tell by the title of this video, I am documenting my infertility journey. So in today's video, I am sharing with you how my last appointment went with my fertility specialist. I met with them about a week ago, and basically they just reviewed all of my test results. So if you watched my last few videos, you would know that I went through a series of fertility testing, and my husband did as well. And they went over all of the results, which I already knew they were normal. Our official diagnosis is unexplained infertility, and my doctors have been preparing me for that diagnosis, so this time around it wasn't a complete shock to me. I went in there expecting that official diagnosis to be made. Now the question is, how do we move forward, and what are our best options for fertility treatments to start with? They gave us 3 options, and the first option was that we don't have to do any treatment if we don't want to. We can just continue trying on our own and hoping that eventually I get pregnant. But obviously that is not the ideal option for us at this time, since that hasn't been working the last 2.5 years. So our other 2 options are actual treatment. And the first option they gave us is what I was expecting them to recommend, which is medicated cycles with timed intercourse. And they explained that I would be prescribed Clomid, and then we would just try on our own like we have been and see how that goes. But they said that is not what they recommend we do, and they informed me that what they think our best option is at this time to start with is an IUI. I honestly wasn't expecting them to recommend IUI for us right off the bat, but after discussing all of our options with my doctors and having them explain to me why they think that is the best option for us at this time, John and I have decided to move forward with IUI. So just to give you an idea of how we came to this decision, my doctors explained to me that with unexplained infertility, we have anywhere from a 1 to 4% chance of conceiving each cycle. That's without any medical intervention. That's just with us trying on our own. And if we were to move forward with only medicated cycles and not an IUI, our chances would increase by about 5%. And then if we decide to move forward with the medicated cycle plus the IUI, our chances increase by another 5%. So my doctors are very conservative with their numbers. They would rather give us the lower end of the statistic. So my doctors said that we have around a 12% chance of the IUI working. So a typical normal, healthy, fertile couple has anywhere from a 15 to 20% chance of conceiving each cycle. So the 12% chance we have with the IUI isn't quite at that level, but it is certainly a lot greater than a 1 to 4% chance that we have trying on our own. After meeting with my doctors, John and I just took a few days for all of the information we received to process. You know, we didn't just want to jump into the IUI process without really thinking about it and praying about it and making sure that we were both completely on the same page about all of what's involved with the IUI. So after we took a few days to think about it and talk about it, we did decide that we are both ready and willing to move forward with the IUI. So initially, I actually filmed this video several days ago, and I had to refilm it because things changed from when I initially filmed it. So at first, my doctors told me I could start the IUI right away because I was at the beginning of my cycle. And it's a long story. I'm not going to get into everything, but basically I was misinformed and I actually have to wait for my next cycle to start. And I was really upset at first because I was ready to go. I was ready to start Clomid and I was ready to just get the ball rolling, and then turns out, nope, I can't do it this cycle. So I have to wait until the end of October. As far as right now, they gave me like a basic calendar of what my cycle will look like. So when I start my next cycle, I need to call the fertility clinic and schedule my baseline appointment. And at my baseline appointment, they will do blood work and an ultrasound to get a baseline of where everything is at. And then on day 5 of my cycle, I am going to begin a 5-day dose of Clomid. And then once I have completed taking all 5 days worth of the Clomid, I will go back to the clinic for another follow-up, and they will do the blood work again, as well as an ultrasound to check my follicle count and see how my body reacted to the Clomid. And assuming everything goes well, at that appointment, we will move forward with the IUI a few days later. They do want me to take a trigger shot. So I believe they said I will be taking Ovidrel. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's an HCG trigger shot. And John has already volunteered and said he will be administering the shot to me, which I am grateful for. I trust him like 1,000 times more than I trust myself with needles and administering an injection. So he is totally on board to handle that. So once I take the trigger shot, the IUI will take place around 36 hours later. And then after the IUI, of course, I just have to wait for 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, in order to see if the IUI worked. So yeah, I honestly can't believe we are going to be starting the IUI process here in a few weeks. It seems very surreal. But at the same time, I'm ready. I'm ready to try something different, because obviously trying on our own is not working, and I don't know. We won't know if the IUI will work until we try it. So I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling hopeful and positive, and I'm trying to really just keep a positive attitude overall about this. I'm aware of the statistics, and I am aware of how often IUI doesn't work. I am well aware that this might not work, but I am choosing hope, and I am choosing to be as positive as I can. You know, I don't know what your beliefs are, but both John and I are Christians, and before we officially made this decision, we spent a few days just talking about everything and praying about it, and I am choosing to trust in God and trust in His plan for us. And I know God is bigger than the numbers, and He is bigger than statistics. So I am just trying to put all of that out of my mind and be as positive as I can. This last year has been really hard for me, and I became a very negative person in regards to trying to conceive, and I have had a very bad attitude about it, to be honest. Just very negative all the time about, you know, just everything involving trying to conceive. Like, why are we even trying? It's not even working, so why should we even try at all? Like, it's just, it takes a toll on you, and it really took a toll on me. And looking back at this last year especially, all of that negativity didn't do me any good, and a part of me was being very negative in hopes that I wouldn't be as disappointed each month when my cycle, or, you know, when I didn't get pregnant. And to be honest, I was still disappointed. So me being negative and pessimistic about everything didn't really save me any heartache. In fact, it may have given me more heartache. So I am just choosing to go into this with positive thoughts and hopefulness, and we'll see what happens from here. So as far as the timeline goes, I should be starting my first IUI cycle at the end of October, and I am planning on documenting as much of it as I can. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel, that way you don't miss any of my update videos. Let me know in the comments down below if you have gone through IUI and what your experience was like. I have, of course, been on my computer researching IUI, Clomid, the trigger shot. I've been researching everything as much as I can, so I would love to hear any personal experiences you have, whether they were good or bad. So leave me a comment and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.